Hey guys, I wanted to quickly address a problem that I seem to be a frequent problem with Visual Studio and its installation. A lot of people have reported that they've not been able to access parts of the language or maybe even the C++ portion of this in general. So I want to make sure that we're all doing the right thing and setting it up, because it can be a little confusing setting this thing up. So once you've downloaded Visual Studio via the link that is placed inside of one of the lecture modules, the first lecture module should have the link to download this, or if you just come across it via Google search or however have you, you'll find that the Community Edition, which is again the free edition, will take up quite a bit of space, and the reason for that being is because it does have a lot of modules that you can select and toggle on. The other languages, things like that. We're only going to be dealing with C++ in this class. And again, this is one compiler, compiler meaning tool set, out of many. There's other programs that you can use to write your source code for C++. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can even write source code in Notepad. On a Windows machine, so it's not anything that's crazy. It's meant to just be a tool to help you write code faster and easier and to simulate things. So there's a lot of different parts to the compiler itself, and I go over that in the lecture. So the only reason why we push Visual Studio so much is really just because it lines up with the textbook material. It's very widely used across the academic institutions. So that's the only reason why this one here is focused on. So depending on if you deviate from that or not, you'll have a completely different layout, look, and all that. So let's try to make this work first for you before you deviate to anything else. If you're on a Mac, unfortunately, you're going to have to deviate if you want to use the Mac operating system. Okay, so we have a location that it's going to install. You select this as wherever you want it to install. That's perfectly fine. It says it's going to take about 5 gigabytes across all drives that you have it selected on, if it's not your primary drive. So make sure that you do have the adequate space for this. By default, there is a default checkbox that's enabled, and this here says C#, VB, which is Visual Basic, Web, and Desktop features. I want you to select Custom. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and click Next. And now you're going to see a bunch of checkboxes that we can select. And in here, we see underneath Programming Languages, there's Visual C++. There's all of these other different portions and tools. There's more. I'm going to just expand all of the boxes here. There's a few tools for some social features that are built in, repository features. You don't need to worry about any of this here, mobile development, all of this extra stuff. The only thing that we really need out of this list here is just this Visual C++ component and all of the sub portions for this. Okay, so once you've selected all of that, we're going to go ahead and click Next. It's going to go through the setup installation process and hit Install. And that should give you everything that you need once installing it. I didn't actually intend to go through the entire setup process here and let it tick through, because this will take quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick it up right after the installation is completed.